Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks for getting a higher kill-death ratio in Call of Duty World War II. I know people are always trying to figure out ways to improve their KD, so I thought that I would share with you guys some tips that I have used in not only this Call of Duty, but a lot of the past Call of Duties to raise my KD and to still be able to get the win. So the first tip is to play your normal play style. Don't switch up from what you're good at. So many people, and I see this the most, in people that rush all the time that are super aggressive, when they want to try to get a high KD, they'll start camping and they'll start playing super defensive, which is not at all what they're used to, because they're used to rushing, they're used to bum rushing the spawn with submachine guns or shotguns. And when you do that, when you switch up your play style, it's completely different. You might think that you're going to do a lot better. You might not die as much, but you're not going to get anywhere near as many kills as you would. So you really might not be. You might be hurting yourself more than doing better, because you're switching your play style completely. So don't switch from what you're used to. I would recommend playing somewhat defensive but still aggressive. Don't completely switch it up because it's really not going to help you out in the long run. The second tip is to stay off the radar, and the best way that you can do this is through the Mountain Division. The Mountain Division allows you to be invisible to enemy recon aircraft, hidden to player-controlled streaks, and in silent movement. Now, obviously, silent movement doesn't keep you off the radar, but in this game specifically, I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed that you sound like a horse running around these maps. You're super loud. Your footsteps are super loud, and with everyone having military-grade headsets nowadays, it's very important to have silent movement so people can't hear you running around. The third tip is to use recon and counter recon aircrafts. So many people want to run those high streaks. People want to run like paratroopers and all those high score streaks that you're rarely going to get, because you think if you get them, I'm going to get a ton of kills. When in reality, it's so much better to use the smaller streaks. I highly recommend using the recon and the counter recon, because you'll constantly have that UAV up in the air and you'll constantly be blocking their UAVs. And if you keep going through the streaks, you'll keep getting them, and it'll be super easy to just keep killing people. It's almost like having an advanced UAV, as long as you keep getting them. If you're going to run a third streak, I would recommend a fighter pilot or a glide bomb. These streaks are fairly easy to get, and they almost guarantee a kill unless you get super unlucky. But again, I wouldn't run anything too high unless you're consistently getting super high score streaks every single game. The next tip kind of relates to the first one, and that's to use weapons that you're comfortable with. Again, don't switch up your playstyle, but don't switch up your weapons as well. So many people will take this time to try out new weapons and venture away from what they're used to, right? So like if I'm a player that's really used to using an STG and I do really well with it, and I'm like, okay, I want to get a good KD, I'm gonna start using different weapons, see if this gun's good. That's not the time to try out different guns. When you want to get a good KD, when you're trying to maybe even get a nuke, use the gun that you are absolutely best with the same class setup, the same division, the same basic training. Run everything that you're used to, so that you don't stray away from what you're good at. The final tip that I have for you is to play with a team. Playing with a team is so obvious but so crucial. Playing by yourself in Call of Duty nowadays is so difficult, especially when trying to win and trying to do well. So I highly recommend playing with a team where you're able to communicate, able to know what's going on, and everyone on your team is on the same page. And again, you can work in and out with your teammates. Maybe get some of your teammates to run recons and counter recons as well. Maybe have someone on your team shooting down score streaks to keep you off the radar. That might help. But yeah, guys, these are just some basic tips and tricks to hopefully help you guys get your KD a little bit higher in Call of Duty World War II. If you guys have any extra tips, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.